Growers and food producers of all size struggle to navigate through the complexity of MRL regulations. Even searching for information on one specific type of commodity in a few different markets can prove to be a more challenging proposition than originally anticipated. In addition to that, when looking to assess risk, it is important that you can trust the information you are seeing and can easily validate the source. Without such transparency in place, people working with MRLs are often left second-guessing the information and the accuracy of the source. We begin this example at the main search page. We would like to do a search for sweet cherries to understand the MRLs in the specific markets of the European Union, USA, Taiwan, and Australia. Our prospective market will be the European Union. We now have the MRL result block displayed with the 4 MRL tiles for the 4 markets included. The MRL currently in force is listed in the upper left corner of the tile. All MRLs are measured in parts per million. If an MRL is more restrictive than the prospective market MRL, it will appear in a red box. Since we selected the prospective market to be the European Union, all values that are lower for the other markets are displayed in red. Let us now look one level deeper to see specifically where this information is coming from for the different countries by navigating to the Regulation Details pane. The first important aspect to note is the commodity term on which the tile's MRL, in this case sweet cherry, was set. For the EU, it is set under cherry sweet, which is straightforward to understand. The Regulation Details pane may also include commodity note for information such as the portion of the commodity analyzed, other commodities the MRL may apply to, and any other prescribed regulatory notes. The active ingredient term, as cited in the regulation, along with the available residue definitions, will be included. The regulation reference and in-force date are listed for the Premium Enterprise subscription. All this ensures complete transparency for each MRL regulation, which means less risk of inaccuracies. Next, let us look at the regulation details for Australia. In this case, the commodity term cited in the acetamiprid regulation is stone fruit, except plums. So sweet cherries, along with all the other stone fruits under Australia's group definition, receive an MRL of 1 parts per million, except for plums, which for acetamiprid has been excluded. The final regulation details we will look at is that of Taiwan. This is a great example that demonstrates the unusual nuance of the country's regulation that our regulatory analysts and the database can capture. Here we see that Taiwan has set the MRL on the pome crop group. Cherries, of course, are a stone fruit and not a pome fruit, but the Taiwan's regulation only lists a pome crop group, which happens to include both pome and stone fruit. Taiwan's acetamiprid regulation could easily be misinterpreted to not apply to cherries without a detailed understanding of the Taiwan standard. What can we take from these 3 different market examples? Our experience shows us that organizations often do not pick up on these subtle differences and risk assigning the wrong MRLs. Or, as is often the case, they simply are not able to find the specific commodity they are looking for due to the various crop definitions assigned by the various regulators. With globalmrl.com, this is no longer an issue. You can search for your specific commodity regardless of the crop group it is categorized under. As a final part of the demonstration, we will show our advanced Excel chart report. Once you have obtained the information you need for the Taiwanese market, you may want to share it throughout your organization in an easy-to-read format. Here, if we wanted to quickly compare the Taiwanese MRLs with a handful of other Asian markets, we could put together a report for simple distribution. We have now generated the Excel chart. Here, we can select the worksheet titled Cherry Sweet. We can see the countries are laid out above in the columns, while the pesticides are visible in the respective rows. The specific MRL is displayed in the corresponding cell. This concludes the demonstration. With globalmrl.com, it is important to know that you are subscribing to much more than a simple database. We are actively managing these different sources and deciphering exactly the types of complexities shown earlier. All this combines to offer a service that gives you the information you need, delivered simply while lowering the risks of inaccuracies for your business. Thank you for your interest in globalmrl.com.